Hello students, welcome back to your economics class. We are doing chapter 3, money and credit. And in this chapter, I introduced you all to money last time. We spoke about barter system and we spoke about the limitations of barter system. Now, moving forward, we are going to find out. First, we'll do a little recap. So what is money? Money is basically, it was introduced as an instrument of exchange. A seller of goods is ready to sell his goods in exchange of money. So money meant anything which served as a medium of exchange, store of value, measure of value, and standard of deferred payment. Now, money finds its origin in the need to facilitate an exchange. Therefore, money is generally defined as a thing that is commonly accepted as a medium of exchange. The term money has been derived from the Latin word moneta, which is another name of the goddess Juno of Rome. In Rome, the first mint was established in the temple of goddess Juno or Moneta. Mint is the place where currency is made. It was after the name of goddess Moneta that the coins of the mint were named as money. Okay, so these are just some extra interesting information that I have of money and I want to share with you all. You all may not find all this in the textbook. Okay, so money can be anything that has purchasing power, that is used as a medium of exchange, that is used to measure value of any goods or services, that is used to transfer value from one person to another or from one place to another. It is used to store value for future use and is also used as a standard of deferred payment. So basically, there are 5 functions to money. Okay, number 1, it serves as a medium of exchange. We know this very well because whenever you get down to buy some fruits or vegetables, you buy whatever fruits or vegetables you buy or whatever commodity you buy, in exchange to the shopkeeper or to the vendor, you give money. Hence, money is a medium of exchange. Number 2 is store of value. That means that it is safe and accessible store of wealth as it maintains its purchasing power. So today, if you have 100 rupees with you and you put it in your cupboard for a few days or a few months, the value is not going to deteriorate. It will still stay 100 rupees only. Of course, we prefer to keep the money that we want to save in the bank so that it increases in value. But nowhere does the value of money deteriorate. So it's not going to be that I'm going to keep 100 rupees in the cupboard and after 4 days it's going to become 70 rupees or 60 rupees. Okay, but this used to happen in barter system. So if I have wheat, I have grown a lot of wheat and I'm going to be using wheat as my medium of exchange. I cannot store wheat for a long period of time, or if it's a fruit or a vegetable, I cannot store it for a long period of time because the value will deteriorate. Whereas for money, it can be stored. It can be a store of value. It is also a measure of value. So let's say we have a house, we can say that this house is worth 30 lakhs or 40 lakhs. So we have taken the measurement of the value of that house in terms of money. So money is also a measure of value. Okay, so this is the third function of money. Fourth function is it can be used as transfer of value. So there can be a money transfer that takes place. So let's say I have to give 40,000 rupees to my friend in Jaipur. I don't need to personally go there and give it. I can give it in the bank over here. He can pick it up from the bank over there. And the value of money, even through the transfer, will remain the same. So the transfer of value will take place from my hands to his hands, and the value of that money will still remain intact. Okay, so this is another function of money, that even if you transfer it from one person to another, so either I transfer it to my father's account or my mother's account or your account, the value of that money will still remain the same. It will not change. Fifth is standard of deferred payment. So this is where we talk about loans. So if I have a loan that I want to take, let's say I want to buy a car, and it is a 7 lakh rupee car, and I don't have that much money at that time with me. Okay, and of course the entire idea of waiting patiently till I get the money is out of my mind. I want it. So what do? There is another way. I go to the bank and I promise the bank that I will give you the money, just loan it out to me for now. So when we talk about loans, we're talking of deferred payment. That means we're not spending it on the spot. We will do it in the future. And for all this, again, the medium of value, the medium of exchange is again money. So money has 5 functions. It serves as a medium of exchange. It serves as a unit of value. It is also a store of value. It serves as a means of payment. It serves as store of value. It serves as deferred payment. Okay, so legally, money is anything that is proclaimed by law as a medium of exchange. Okay, so today it has to be approved by the system of law. So paper notes and coins right now, they are called currency. Is money as a matter of law. So what I want you all to do is, I have an activity for you. I want you all in your notebook, so I will show you all how I want you all to do it. 1 minute. Okay, so in your notebook, I want you all to draw columns. Okay, and this is the currency. Over here, you will write currency. Over here, you will write country. Okay, and just to make it interesting, we will do the flag. So we will have 3 things. Okay, flag, we will have the country, and you will do the currency. And over here, I want you all to list 14 places, 14 countries. And I want you all to list out their flag, their country, and their currency. So sorry, you all had to see this. Okay. So list out 14 forms of currency that is currently used and where. So I'm sure you are all going to do dollar, you all are going to do pound, you all are going to do yen, and after that, you all are going to search. If you all cannot reach 14, do 10. But I think you all can easily touch 14. And yes, you can use India. I have not said excluding India. So I think you all can easily go to 14. And extra challenge, one more activity is on this page at the bottom. I want you all to write how many forms of currency are currently used in the world. If you can find out the number. It's just a research work I want to give you all. If you all can, just write it down at the bottom of the page in one full sentence that currently so many forms of currency are being used. That's it. And on the top, I will have you all 14 forms. Okay. So you all will use yen, you all are going to say dollar, you all will say pound, you all say rupee, or whichever other you all find, euro or franc. You can write all those down. In fact, I would have given you all the idea of, even drawing that currency if you all can, but I think it would not everyone would be able to do it. So we will not draw the currency, I'll draw the flag, which is a very easier option. Okay. And the other thing I want you all to do is I want you all to take any currency note of India. Don't stick the currency note in the notebook. Huh? Your parents will come and give me a call. You can draw the currency note, or you all can take a printout of the currency note, or you can Xerox it or whatever. And I want you all to label it. So these are the security features of the new Indian banknote that we have. And over here, I have labeled, I have found a picture that has labeled most of the security features. But you all don't only label the security features. If you all have, like, for example, if you all, I want you all to even find out, yeah, like what is year, what is this standing for, what does this writing stand for, what is this over here. So whatever more information you all can get about that note, I want you all to give an entire page to it. So you will stick the note, you will label the security features and all the other things that you all are going to explain. And in one or two lines, you will explain these. Okay, so while you all are seeing this, let me just explain to you all a little bit about it. Okay, so can you all see the security thread? Can you all see the security thread? So the security thread is over here. Can you all see it? So what does that stand for? For example, it appears to the left of Mahatma Gandhi's portrait, and it has a plain, not readable, fully embedded security thread. Okay, and it is a windowed security thread, alternately visible to the observer with the inscriptions of Bharat in Hindi. Okay, and all currency notes have the security thread. And when these notes, they are held against the light, the security thread is seen as one continuous line. Okay, the second thing I want to show you all is the watermark. Can you all see the watermark? Over here, can you all see the watermark? It's supposed to be here. So the Mahatma Gandhi series of banknotes contain Mahatma Gandhi watermark with a light and shade effect, and it is multi-directional lines in the watermark window. Okay, then we talk about micro lettering. If you all can see this, this feature appears between the vertical band and the Mahatma Gandhi portrait, and it contains the word RBI in the rupees 5 and rupees 10. And the notes of rupees 20 and above also contain the denominational value of the note in micro lettering. And this feature can only be seen very well with the help of a magnifying glass. Okay, so the letters RBI and 1000 can be viewed with the help of a magnifying glass in the zone between Mahatma Gandhi's portrait and the vertical band. So if you look at the background, only then you can see this. You will really need a magnifying glass to go and see it. Then coming to latent image. So if you observe the side of rupees 2,500, 100, 50, 20 notes, you will see a vertical band that I have told you all about on the right side of Mahatma Gandhi's portrait. And it contains a latent image which shows the respective denominational value in the numeral. Okay, it is only visible when the note is held horizontal at our eye level. Only then you can see the numerals. It is only visible in that way. Then we have the identification mark, which I personally feel is a very beautiful feature of our note. It is to help the visually impaired to find out what note they have. Visually impaired are the blind people. Okay, it's a feature in Italy. It's a feature in intaglio, which has been introduced on the top left of the watermark window, and this feature is different for all the denominations. There's a different shape for each and every denomination. Please go find the notes of different denominations and see which shape is there. For example, over here on this one we have a we have a rectangle. And if you can close your eyes and feel this rectangle, you will realize how a blind man would, a blind person would identify that this is a 2000 rupee note by that feeling. You know how they have the braille writing. This is similar kind of inclusion. And we had this in the old notes also. Okay, so that is the identification mark. And then we have the intaglio printing. Okay, this feature is added on the notes for the convenience of the blind, again, for the blind people, and the features that are there. Okay, like in the old notes, there was just one particular shape. In this note, we have many more identification marks for the visually impaired. So we have the Ashoka pillar emblem, we have the portrait of Mahatma Gandhi, the Reserve Bank seal, the guarantee promise, the RBI governor's signature, and they're all printed in the intaglio so that a visually impaired person is not fooled, because otherwise you will give him any note which has one feeling, okay, and he will feel it is correct. So now even the visually impaired can check if the note is valid or not, if it's true or not. Of course, they can still, because there is always a way out, but at least the features, the security features for them have also increased. Okay, then we have the optically variable ink or color changing ink. This is again a new security feature that was introduced after demonetization in the 1000 rupees. Sorry, we don't have the 1000 rupees, in the 500 rupees note. And okay, so this was also in the old note since November 2000. And the numeral digit 2000 and 500 on the observed notes respectively printed is in the optically variable ink, that is a color changing ink. And the color of the numerals 2000 and 500 appears green when they are held flat, but it changes to blue when the note is held at an angle. So this is a color changing ink that we are using so that these kind of notes are not printed at home or in any sort of a printing area. Okay, you really need this ink for it. Finally, there is a see-through register. This feature will show up the number when the note is held against the light. It is a small floral design printed on both front and back of the note in the middle of the vertical band next to the watermark, and it has an accurate back-to-back registration. And then we have the fluorescence. Fluorescence is basically the number panels on the notes that are printed in the fluorescent ink. And the notes also have optical fibers. They can be seen when the notes are in front of the ultraviolet lamp. The number panel of the currency are printed in the fluorescent ink. And these notes, they also have optical fibers which can be seen only in the ultraviolet lens. So these were some important security features of the new Indian currency note that we are enjoying. The Reserve Bank of India and the Ministry of Finance are trying hard and making sure that the Indian notes cannot be counterfeited, and the government is successful in its efforts up to quite a lot of extent. But these security features could not prevent the tradition of printing fake notes in the country still. Okay, so I want you all, of course, you all don't have to write all these things down. What you all have to do is at least label it and know what all is there, and label more than what I have on the screen now, so that I know, like, for example, what are the bleed lines. So only do one thing, just explain any 6 features that you all like. Don't explain all the features, but know all the features, understand all the features, because you should be a proud Indian and you should love, why did the demonetization take place and why we have new notes and what are the advantages. Of course, there are a few disadvantages also, but at least I personally feel that demonetization is a very good step, because lots of other countries besides India was counterfeiting Indian currency. So this gave a setback to them, to a large extent, and it gave us a push up. Okay. So with this, I'm going to end today's class. So you all have two activities to finish. I want to list out 14 forms which are currently being used and where, and draw their flags. You're going to find out also how many forms of currency are actually being used in the world. And then you all are going to label one Indian currency note. Don't take real currency notes in your notebook. I don't want your parents to caught me. Okay? Make either you can draw or print, okay, or you all can just Xerox it and stick it. All right. With this, I end today's class. Stay home and stay safe. Take care and keep learning. Thank you.